Episode 3, 2 for 1. We got as far away as we could from the crazy old future me. My other thinking spot, the Neonopolis Outdoor Mall, was not far from the coffee shop. It felt like having a private space. We knew no one would be there. The place had only recently opened, but it already felt like a ghost town. We took the escalator up and got far enough away so we could see if the crazy me came looking for us. Did that happen? I asked. That video didn't say anything about this. Mia touched the blackened glass of a window of the former high-end fashion shop. The one with the puppet? No duh. Mia grabbed the PDA out of my left hand. The delivery date on this is 2022. Like, it doesn't expect us to stand here with coffee and wait around forever, does it? Where do we deliver this for the money? The pocket computer thing says we have 15 minutes. We gotta figure this out fast. If we are time traveling, why is there a timer? She took the device from me and started pressing buttons. She's good at that. Oh, she said, we're supposed to be like going to school, huh? Screw math class. We can take the test for real after the shift ends or however that works, I stated. Here. She exhaled while pressing something. The PDA shook and hummed as loud as a jet engine. Turn it off! I freaked out. I can't stop it! She cried out. We saw a flash. Everything went dark. When we came to, we stood in an empty Neonopolis. That part was normal, but all the shops in the outdoor mall looked vacant. We were standing on the wrong side of a dusty close sign. Only some of the neon signs that we recognized from 2002 still worked. The time travel device started speaking. Welcome to the year 2022. This PDA time travel trip is sponsored by Elon's Cabbage. Satisfy the crunchy cabbage craving with the taste of Elon. Now verified. Do they use the cabbage when they barbecue your Mongolians? We got to get this delivered if we want that money. I grunted. The list of forbidden words. Oh snap. It's cool, I said. I struggle with the list of forbidden words too. We hurried out of the outdoor mall and onto Fremont Street. People walked around us. The casino lights flashed and slot machines clanked from a distance. Paint from a street artist sprayed into the warm air. Music from our time blasted through speakers hanging on the jumbotron overhead. This is the future, huh? I asked. We stopped and looked around together, looking at all the lights and sights around us. Do you think if we weren't all depressed, we'd be all impressed, oh my god, we're in the future and stuff? Who has feelings anymore? Mia scoffed. It's like they slapped a bunch of expensive stuff all over the buildings. I rolled up my sleeves. Wouldn't it be nice if we could enjoy moments like this? I breathed. Right. Let's see where we were taking this coffee to. Get that money. Above the front door was an enormous banner that read Fukuyu, and everyone had to walk under it to get into the store. She and I walked inside, looking at the sign, shaking our heads. That sounds like someone made a joke, but no one got it. So they kept it, I said. She pointed at the poster on the window. An old lady with her thumb sticking up stood against a background of lilies. The poster read, Neighborhood Market, 50% off canned tuna day. Dr. Tanaka? I whispered in amazement. Did my therapist quit and buy a grocery store? I felt Mia's hand on my shoulder. I don't want to be mean, but after meeting your future self, I know why. I need a drink. I paused. Water, not that kind of drink. I'm on it. She headed to the short fridges near the register full of glass marble soda and other drinks. The order didn't say where we were taking the coffee, so we started looking around. Fukuyu Family Market had a bunch of weird stuff in it. Mostly things wrapped in rice and seaweed. The air smelled sweet from the bread baking at the back of the store. The woman at the register waved us down. Is that my lost coffee? The woman loosely swung her arms. It should be order 66. I handed her the order, trying to smile. Did I offend you? The clerk asked. That's how they smile, Mia explained. She took a large sip, closing her eyes and tilting her head. She slurped before drawing back and pushing out air out of her mouth. That's the taste I've missed for 20 years. Makes me want to read Sansei Yamao. This cost a lot of money for coffee, but... She hummed a classical piece of music to herself. This 2-for-1 deal was worth it. Mia grabbed my shoulder again. 2 for 1? Yeah. Azami delivered the other coffee 5 minutes ago at 9:35. I gave the first one to my boss. Take the waters as a tip. I'll cover for you. Thanks again for the discount. What do you mean 2 for 1? My eyes turned to the time of the PDA. The timer at 9:41, which was different from the time displayed at the store. Mia dragged me away from the counter, holding 2 giant plastic water bottles. It means we didn't make the delivery first. The device chimed as we walked out of the air-conditioned store and into the hot parking lot. On the screen now appeared my name and Azami's name. Under mine showed $0. Azami had 2,000 under it. I pressed the screen almost to her face, knowing her vision sucks, so she could see how much cash we lost. Let's take another order, she pointed. Find something big. A voice called out from inside the store. Azami! The store doors opened. I turned around to a shocked older Japanese lady wearing a store uniform. Oh no, she said. You took that delivery job. Hi, Dr. Tanaka. I waved. You look great. She frowned. Why are you hanging out with Mia? She asked, putting her hands on her hips. We're friends now. Mia deadpanned as we hugged. The trauma bonded us or something. Tanaka blinked. Your trauma bonding, yes. She closed one eye and tightened her lips. I don't do that anymore. I'm glad to see you've worked things out. For a minute. Hey, Aurore, tell your older self to move their van. It's been out front all month. I'm going to get it towed if they can't get it going. Van? My words fumbled as they came out. I have a van? She pointed to the corner of the parking lot. I recognized something I had not seen on the way inside. Is that your Aunt Bianca's van? I asked. There, parked at the far end, taking up 2 spots, sat the brown hippie van. Supersized wheels, giant side windows. The van might as well have had a surfboard attached to the roof. I peeked in the back windows, walking around to the front of the vehicle. What's inside? Mia asked. The sun reflected off of a card sitting on the front seat. I put my hand to my forehead. My license, I whispered. My wallet sat, opened up with my DMV photo out in plain view. My soul died a little, and my emotional support hoodie. The fabric had seen better days. Mia choked on her words. Why's your stuff in my van? She asked. I don't know. I felt my hand shake the more I thought about a future living in a parking lot. Where were my friends? Why didn't I have a family? I thought about finding a rock to break the window, but realized the door was unlocked. Also, it wouldn't have righted the wrong of the DMV photo. Mia stood staring at her reflection in the passenger side mirror. My eyes turned to the back of the van. The back looked like a trash-themed adventure park. The seats had been removed, and off to the left side lay a sleeping bag on a mountain of clothes. To the right was a wall of stuff with the backpack I recognized. The side saddlebag, the one I had forgotten to take to school and left in Mia's room. Do you see anything of mine? She asked. Are you sure it's Azami's? 'Cause you wouldn't buy this without me, right? Unless my aunt had to sell it for some reason. I'm not seeing anything that looks like yours. Where am I then? This is a joke universe. This isn't what's going to happen in 21 years, is it? You gone, me living out at the back of a van, worth nothing? Is this all there is? She stuck out her hand. That's a little dramatic. We don't know anything yet. Mia opened the passenger door and looked inside. She reached over and put the keys into the ignition. She tried to start the van. The engine didn't start, but instead made a clanking metal sound. She shrugged. I know that sound. A moment later, the hood popped and she hit some car thing near the top. Now try it, she mumbled, returning back to the van. Her hand rose and her finger pointed towards the ignition. I turned the key. The engine started. The hood of the van closed shut. Mia looked at the entrance of the store. Hey, Dr. Tanaka, you don't need a tow truck. Dr. Tanaka stood on the sidewalk, looking on, almost lost. She held up her thumb. Finally, she almost chuckled. You might want to get out of here if you're going to go on a joyride. She nodded at the vehicle. Mia jumped in and closed the door, softly. What do you mean? I exclaimed. I can't live in a van. This isn't what I wanted at all. So, Mia shrugged, revving the engine. We have to change this. I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. We've watched all those movies. All that stuff is impossible to change. Someone ends up dying or someone learns some bull lesson. She waved me into the van. I did as she wanted and climbed into the passenger seat. Salmon, like the fish, an audiobook played through the beat-up side speakers. She turned it off. It doesn't matter what happens in the future or whatever. This is a different dimension. Once we get to the end of the shift, with this van full of money, we can do what we want. Mia shifted and began to roar out of the parking lot. The vehicle stopped near Dr. Tanaka, who waved at us. Mia stuck her head out the window. Hey, Dr. Tanaka yelled. Take it easy on yourselves. Mia stuck her thumb out the window for her ex-therapist to see, then sped out at the parking lot. As the van drove down the road, I looked at the orders on the device. She pointed to one of the orders. Let's find the easiest one, she said. Can you watch the road? I barked. I'm side-eyeing it. You are not side-eyeing me. You are looking. The road is there, and the van is heading to the other side there. Seeing where we were on the road, I covered my eyes with my hands. Mia pulled the van back into the lane so hard that my shoulder bumped against the side door a little. Fine, like you're a better driver. You can say something, you know. We listened to the tape playing in silence. An order came across the PDA. Hey, that's your address, or our address, your mom. Future mom must be ordering something. If other me shows up, we can ambush them. The order was for a sandwich from a mushroom pizza place we go to from 2001. The retro oceany setup was cool, but the music they played annoyed both of us. It was the kind of music that would sound a lot better in a car wash than it does over speakers. Either way, we knew the place. Your other you didn't look like they liked me, Mia went on. I bet older you won't take this order, even if the bonus is for $5,000. Mia, I stopped and took a deep breath. My future self is I can't think of anything nice, a jerk with ugly short hair. But you are always going to be awesome to me. She's like, I kind of like the short hair on you. I stared at her for a moment in disbelief. Instead of saying something, feeling a fight coming on, I looked back to the PDA. Sponsored order. I stared down. This says after we complete this, we can do a sponsored orders for more money. Sponsored by whom? How much more money? She asked. I don't know, but we should find out. I accepted the order and Mia made a left turn driving towards the pizza shop. After picking up the sandwich in 2001, we returned to Mia's house in 2022. The house looked the same, other than it looked like it could use a coat of paint. I noticed the light flickered, which I don't remember it doing the last time in 2002. The gravel in the front yard looked thinner as well, as if it had been unkept. She walked to the door and tried to open it, but the knob didn't turn. She tried her key, but the key didn't fit. She banged on the wood. "Yo, it's me. We got a sandwich." After a bit, we heard footsteps from the other side. Mia took a step forward but stopped, like she didn't believe her own eyes. I expected Miss K to come out of the house, but she didn't. A stranger stood there, dressed in nice going-out clothes. "Who are you?" Mia asked. "Do you have my food?" the woman asked back. "Yeah," I said. "Thanks." She grabbed the sandwich. "You know when the second one's getting here? I got a party starting and I owe my sister-in-law a sandwich too. You tried these? They are good. Does anyone else live here? Does my mom live here?" Mia asked with concern. "I don't know you," she replied. "Do you know who lived here before?" I said. "No." The stranger seemed uneasy. "We bought it in an estate sale 20 years ago. I'm going to eat this now. Good night." She closed the door. We walked away from the house. As we stood looking down at the shadows cast by the flickering light, Mia's eyes narrowed. She covered her face with her hands. "This isn't real, is it? What happened?" Her body rocked back and forth. She folded her arms. I knew what that meant. I handed her the CD in my hoodie pocket. She put them on and turned up the volume. Crickets chirped, so Mia turned up the volume to better block out the sound. After a few minutes, the roaring from the nearby highway had stopped. She took off the headphones. I took the CD player back. I crossed my arms inside my hoodie pocket. "How can we fix this? This isn't something people can fix, is it?" I asked. "Why isn't my mom here?" Mia bowed her head. "We'd never sell that house. Had I failed Miss K? The thought punched me in the gut. I looked through the jobs on the device. I found one and held up the phone to Mia's face. "Look at the amount on this order," I said. She squinted. Her eyes widened at the number on the screen. Instead of watching Mia drive that clunky van, I checked my watch, which was useless. Time traveling between dimensions is confusing. Is that what jet lag feels like, I wonder? She parked the van and I pulled up the order. On the screen we found 2 tickets, front row seats, which the device printed out for us. The delivery note instructed us to wait in our seats until further notice. 2 seconds after parking, I see a familiar jerk coming at us from the other side of the parking lot. Their walk seemed to be more stumbly this time. "Hey, you stole my van. I had to take a stranger's car here. How did you get it running?" "I do not want to talk to you, Azami," I yelled out the window. "Azami!" They pounded on the back window. We got out of the van. "How did you know where we were?" I asked. I could smell the weekend 12-pack on my breath still. "What happened to me?" Mia asked my future self. "Why is someone else living at my house?" "You might have moved. It's been years," my future self suggested, cold, rehearsed. They quickly peered into the back of the vehicle. "We tell each other everything. Why wouldn't you tell me this?" Mia said. Azami looked up and threw their hands in frustration. "There are a lot of things that are not like how I want them to be, but I can't change any of that. I've tried." "You are going to tell me everything." "I'm not doing anything you asked me to do there, Littlefoot," they laughed. I took a step closer to them. "I'm not asking." "I can't, I'm sorry," they said. "Apology loop," I reminded myself. I'm not bound by your rules. Mia threw her hands in the air. I can't deal with two of you. I need a moment. I'll be right there. I'm going to. But before I could finish talking, she reached inside my hoodie pocket, pulling out the CD player. I super need these right now. Which I knew. Give me back my keys. Azami pointed at Mia. You can pry them from my cold, dead fingers, she said, putting in earbuds. She hurried inside. The hell, dude? I pushed my future self. What are you doing? With my life, what is wrong with you? Dude, don't go pinning all this on me, they bickered. We are the same person. And I've been enforcing your boundaries as Dr. Tanaka taught us that we agreed to. Well, maybe not you, but one of you. I didn't agree to anything. And it's Dr. Tanaka, I explained. Why are you saying it weird? Oh, Dio, they yelled. I guess they were calling me a slut or something. I hoped they wouldn't follow me inside. After the ticket people let me in, I heard Azami running behind me. I tried to ditch them, but they were relentless. We found ourselves walking through crowds of people decked out in team gear in an outer part of the stadium. Why are you following me? I asked as they ran after me. We're not giving you the van back. I'm going to my seat, they said. By the way, I'm being hella nice to you. I hope you're understanding that. You're being hella nice? Let me tell you about some hella good, not good things I learned about myself in the past few hours. My eyes looked to where Azami had been, but they were no longer there. I searched around and found my future self standing in line at a concession stand. What the hell are you doing now? I walked to them. I don't have to tell you, but it was your birthday, right? I face-palmed. You're celebrating for me, aren't you? With a beer. Or something in a vodka, maybe, they said. They made a face and stuck out their hand. Talk to the hand. I'm not like Mom, you know. So, I did the Free Willy in motion with my left hand as if my hand were a whale jumping over Azami's hand. It's the thing I do when people do the whole talk to the hand thing. Azami narrowed their eyes at me. That's rude. We're gonna beat you to the order. I jabbed my finger at their chest. Good luck. They leaned over to see what was taking the line so long. As soon as I found my seat, Mia grabbed my CD collection I kept in my emotional support hoodie pocket. She flipped through all the CDs in the case. Is this all you brought? You steal my entire dream life but can't bring a CD I like. Mia frowned. I froze, thinking of all the things I could say. My bad. I sat down. I didn't mean to snap. Are you okay? I asked. Are you having junior high cheerleader flashbacks? She straightened up and pulled her hair from her headphones, about to yell. You're in my seat, I heard a voice say. I turned to tell them they were mistaken, but you've already figured out it was a-hole. Mia's in your seat, I said. They scoffed at me. What? She asked. Azami's being a jerk, I told her. Future me waved their arms in the air, trying not to spill their beer. Yeah, I'm the big scary monster. I get it, kid, they mocked. I'm the ghost of future you. They laughed an evil laugh. They found it funny, I guess. Don't call me kid, I told them. Why are they here? She pointed at my other self with a look of disgust. That's how this works, Azami said. She changed the track on the CD player. Music played over the stadium speakers. It's your Las Vegas Looters versus the Phoenix Hawk Commanders. This game has been sponsored by Future Treats. We got you at Future Treats. Meet our Future Treat trained professionals who are squaring off as a treat for you. Realizing everyone in the stadium can see you in your emotional support hoodie was not cool. I tried to smile for everyone watching the Jumbotron TVs, but I looked mad again. The winner, who signed a waiver, will get $2 million if they win. No rules. $2 million? That wasn't what the order amount was for. I turned to Mia, who stood. I sighed. This is the weirdest birthday ever. Shut up and do something already. Azami bared their teeth at me. Azami held the guardrail, looking at the giant tray of a field. Something began to fall from the ceiling of the stadium. A briefcase on a rope lowered to almost the 50-yard line. Are you ready? Crowd around us cheered. I noticed Azami bending their elbows. I recognized the look, determination. The first person to get the briefcase back to their seat wins. Good luck, future treat employees. A horn blew. We heard hooting and hollering. I turned to run to a gate allowing you field access, but I looked back to see if Azami had followed me. They hadn't. They had jumped the rail and were running across the field into a tunnel. I lost sight of them after they ran in. I turned to Mia, but she wasn't in her seat. I looked back to the field and saw her running towards the case. She ran through the cheerleading squads. Both teams looked at the competition confused. My foot slipped on the railing. I regained my footing, but saw my other self run back out of the tunnel holding a ladder. What is this? I yelled. I jumped down to the field. My feet moved towards Mia, who now stood at the 50-yard line looking for some way to get up. She turned towards me. Azami ran behind her, holding the ladder high, as if they meant to swing with it. I screamed. Mia squinted at me but turned. My other self swung the ladder towards her face. She dropped to the ground. The ladder missed top of her head by inches. The crowd cheered. The hell are you doing, Azami? I screamed, charging at myself. Winning, they said. Azami set up the ladder and climbed. They reached Mia. I shoved the ladder. The whole structure came crashing. The prize object waved back and forth. I looked in all directions, trying to find something to help my friend out with. I had to have something. I couldn't keep standing there useless. With my mind blank, I tackled my future self at the knees. They threw a fist. She had found a way to stand the ladder up. She leapt up and grabbed the suitcase, but the ladder shook. Azami had thrown me against the metal. I planted my feet, trying not to knock the ladder over. I glanced up and saw her climbing down with the case in hand. They came at me, pushing me back. Mia landed on her feet, like she had practiced landing all those times back in cheer practice. She dashed towards the seats where we had been sitting. She tried to dodge through the cheerleaders as Azami approached her, as if they were a hunter stalking their prey through a forest of cheerleaders. I went in for a tackle, but my future self pushed me down to the ground. Azami reached for Mia, who climbed partly up the railing. She stretched out with one hand. She swung the briefcase up and tried to push herself upwards. It fell to the field into Azami's hands. Her sneakers landed on the floor below our seats. Azami climbed. Mia grabbed their hand to steal the victory, but she stopped. Instead, she crossed her arms and stepped back, giving them a hard look. My hands reached out to pull Azami's down, but I was too late. Before I could get back to the row above, they sat down with the money. We have a winner, they announced over the speakers. Mia, with her hands folded, sat. Panting from having skipped out in PE class too many times, I returned to my seat. My other self held the case tight. It reminded me of those nature films where some animals hold the dead thing in their mouths, proud or whatever. You almost hit her, I accused. What were you thinking? Why would you? You could have killed me, Azami. Mia sat wide-eyed. You were going to hit me. No, I was pretending to hit you. I wouldn't, they barked. I don't have to answer to you. They looked at Mia. Or you. They sat up, adjusting the briefcase across their chest. I keep starting a new shift every time I get back to the store. I've been doing this for a while. I know how to win. No. Her hand shook with disappointment. You look like you've hit me before. You've seen other me's and Aurore's. Don't worry about it. They lean forward in their padded stadium seat. I lean closer. What happens to the losers of this game, shift, whatever this is? The ones who don't get to the reset point, what happens? Azami didn't answer. Everyone who doesn't make it to the reset point is okay. Then the company gives cupcakes and giant hugs to all. They care, don't worry about it. Every shift, you do this over and over? I asked. I told you, when I first met you, I was planning on being the one to get out of here, and nothing you did mattered. Well, I told one of you anyways. Let's get out of here. I threw my head back. Yes. She stood up. I'll meet you outside. See you, gatekeeper. They waved. I stood up and shook my head. Are you gonna sit there? We don't have a lot of time left on this shift. I've done this before. If I don't see you again, peacefully, good luck. They slurred their syllables. Screw you too. I walked away. I almost left the stadium, but a video ad in the food area caught my eye. Have drinks delivered to your seat. I looked towards the field. Helmets clanked and the whistle blew. Fans cheered. Hey, I yelled to a woman vending a cart. What's the strongest drink you got? I asked. They looked at me. You got an ID? I ordered Azami something strong called a mind eraser. Seat 111. Tell them I said happy birthday. Put as much booze in it as you can. I handed the woman a $20 bill and walked away.